Hello Star Wars fans and collectors, Dave and Alex here at the Hyperspace Vault. In today's video we're going to do top 10 most wanted figures from Rogue One that haven't been produced. As you know, 2021 marks the 5th anniversary of Rogue One, and Hasbro has announced that they're going to be revisiting Rogue One, producing some new figures, and probably a lot of repacks. But if you're a subscriber to the channel, you know that Rogue One is our favorite Disney-era Star Wars movie. So by far, Rogue One is the best. That's what we think.
Alright, so yeah, the 2021 marks the 5th anniversary of Rogue One, and I can't wait to see what figures they do. Now, before we start off, we just want to clarify that this list is for the Black Series and the Vintage Collection, because we haven't got any of these figures in both of them.
Alright, let's get started. Number 10, our first figure on the list, Mon Mothma. Yeah, it'd be really cool to see Mon Mothma in the Vintage Collection or Black Series, because she's, you know, the Rebel Alliance leader. She brought the Rebel Alliance together and formed the Alliance. And the only figure I think we've gotten, there's a couple of different figures that's been out, but Power of the Force is the one we're showing here. So yeah, that would be really cool to see Mon Mothma. Number 9.
Alright, number 9 is Two Tubes. This is one of those mercenary people that was working for Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, he was like Saw Gerrera's right-hand man.
Yeah, and we've only gotten, like, I don't know, one figure of this guy, and he came out in this 4-pack right here with Saw Gerrera, Jyn Erso, and a hover tank pilot, I think.
Yeah, it's a 5 POA figure. Number 8.
Alright, with number 8 we have the Rebel Commando Scarif. And yeah, we've gotten all kinds of Rebel Troopers in the past, and this one will just be a cool addition, especially because we haven't gotten a Endor Rebel Trooper yet.
Yeah, I'd love to see this done as the Hoth Trooper, where you could switch out the face plates. I think that would be a cool touch to this Rebel Commando. And you could army build with that figure. Or they could do a specific figure or a character from the movie like Lieutenant Cephala. That would be cool too. But either way, we'd be happy with a Rebel Commander from Scarif in the Black Series and Vintage Collection. Number 7.
Alright, number 7 is the Stormtrooper Jedha Patrol, or Crystal Patrol.
Crystal Patrol duty. And in Jedha, the Stormtroopers, they went around, they had some specialized equipment and backpacks where they gathered up kyber crystals. Basically, they stole them from the citizens of Jedha, and they had this special backpack where they collected the kyber crystals off the streets of Jedha. So here is an example of a Hot Toys Stormtrooper, Jedha Stormtrooper that they made. So that would be really cool in the Black Series and Vintage Collection with that new Stormtrooper sculpt that they have out. And there's a picture of the backpack that holds the kyber crystals and the other accessories that came with the Hot Toys version of this. Number 6.
Alright, number 6 is General Merrick, Blue Leader, otherwise known as. And this is a very important character to the story in Rogue One. It would have been better if he got more screen time, but just because of the amount of screen time that he has doesn't mean he doesn't have to deserve a figure, even though he does. Well, you guys get what I'm saying. He really deserves a figure, especially with the...
Yeah, and he's on top of most fans' list for long. Ever since the film came out, people have been wanting a General Merrick figure. And it would be nice to, a Vintage Collection, have an X-Wing to go with him, a Blue Leader X-Wing.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Alright, number 5 is Galen Erso, or Jyn Erso's father. He plays a very important role in the story of Rogue One, and we haven't gotten a figure of him in the Black Series nor Vintage Collection, which is surprising. And we could get maybe his his Imperial Officer outfit as well, or maybe his scientist outfit.
Yeah, I would like to see him in his scientific outfit from the development of the Death Star. There is a 5 POA in the regular Rogue One. It's a rare figure because that wave never hit retail, so you rarely see this figure out in the wild. But other than that, that's the only thing that's ever been produced for Galen Erso. Number 4.
All right, number 4 is Jyn Erso Imperial Disguise. And this figure, I think we really need. We've gotten a bunch of variations of Jyn Erso, and this one might actually be one of the coolest, the Imperial Disguise.
Yeah, she was disguised as like a pad director or flight director on those pads at Scarif, and that would be really cool to see that helmet like that, and if it opened, kind of like Zori Bliss figure where the helmet partially opens or the eye visor opens.
Now, we've only gotten one version of this figure, and that's this 5 POA one right here.
Number 3.
Alright, number 3 is now another very important character in the story, Cassian Andor in his Imperial disguise, alongside K2 and Jyn.
Yeah, that would be really cool to see Cassian in the Imperial officer uniform. In the Black Series, that would be an easy figure for Hasbro to do. Along with the Vintage Collection, too, that would be really cool.
Yes, and there are the two characters side by side. Imagine that pair in a Black Series or Vintage Collection line.
Yeah, posing those two together would be really cool. And along with K2SO from the scenes in Scarif at the Vault, yeah. Imperial Vault. Number 2 is Saw Gerrera. Now, it blows my mind that there's not a Black Series or Vintage Collection figure of Saw Gerrera.
Yeah, this is another very important part to the story. He saved Jyn as a child. Well, he wasn't a child. He saved Jyn when she was a child, and he saved her again by giving her, the message from Galen. We've only gotten like a few versions of his figure. Here's one right here in this same 4-pack that 2 tubes came in.
Yeah, nice looking 5 POA figure, and I just can't believe that they didn't take that figure and make a Vintage Collection figure out of it with additional articulation. All right, number 1, what y'all been waiting for, Bodhi Rook. Now, another figure that just blows my mind that they haven't made a figure of.
Yeah, Bodhi Rook, another really big part of the story in Rogue One. If it wasn't for him, then the Rebel Alliance wouldn't know that,
Yeah, and he actually named the movie. He's the one that came up with the term Rogue One, and we don't have a figure of him. Well, actually, they did make a 5 POA version of him. Again, another rare figure that you don't see because that wave never made it to retail. And then there was a Disney Elite series. I think those are 7-inch figures, and they're die-cast metal, and it doesn't look. I mean, the face doesn't look very good, but the figure itself, I guess, is decent. But
yeah, we really need a figure because we haven't got one in Vintage Collection or Black Series.
But again, it just blows my mind that they didn't make a Bodhi Rook Black Series figure to go with the Jyn and Cassian and K2SO.
Now here's a checklist of every figure that we put on our list.
Yeah, tell us down below what figures you'd like to see from Rogue One. Now, honestly, I think, Hasbro has announced that they're doing some Rogue One stuff this year, and they've already, announced a few of the figures. I honestly think that we'll probably only get 2, maybe 3 new figures, and the rest will be repacks. But, yeah, let us know down below what figures you want to see from Rogue One. Also, the guy there in the picture, Director Krennic, he desperately needs a Vintage Collection figure.
Yeah.
All right, guys, thank you for watching. Give us a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. Alex, take us out.
May the Force be with you.